Today, August 1st, is World Lung Cancer Day. Lung cancer is the deadliest form of cancer. Watch today as we have a very special guest discussing his battle with this devastating illness. Hello, welcome to My So-Called Disabled Life, where I not only talk about my life and experiences as a disabled woman, but speak the truth about disability and what it means to live as a disabled person. I am your host, Chaundra McGill, a motivational speaker and life coach for the disabled. Today, we'll be talking to a very special guest in honor of World Lung Cancer Day. Hello, I'm Chaundra McGill. Welcome to My So-Called Disabled Life. I am so glad to welcome Frank McKenna here to share his wonderful story. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. What was your official diagnosis?
Well, Chaundra, it's a pleasure to be here today and to tell my story and to be a part of this broadcast with you. I was, just a little background, was a teacher. I had taught special needs students in public school setting for 36 years. Okay. I also, as part of a part-time and summer job, I started working in gyms back in 1990. And I really liked that part of it. So I kept working in gyms as I went through my teaching career, always working out, physically fit, trying to eat right, just doing all what I thought were all the right things. And then in 2003, I opened my own personal training studio. And I had the little small studio that I trained clients one-on-one. And I wanted to do that more than the big gym scene, is get into the personal training. So as personal training, I was still teaching. Then in this 2016, in the summer of 2016, actually, it was July, so it was exactly, 6 years ago. Wow. In 2016, I was had a hacky little cough that I noticed when I was in school. I'd have to stop talking, clear my throat, just kind of, just a hacky little, annoying more than anything. I went to the doctor. I saw the physician's assistant. She thought it was allergies and gave me an antibiotic and an antihistamine to take. Said, come back in a couple of weeks if it's not cleared up. It could just be a summer cold, but if it's not cleared up, come back. So I went back in 2 weeks. It was still the same. So she said, let's take a sinus x-ray and a chest x-ray. So she took the x-rays and something showed up on my left lung. And so she had the doctor take a look at it, and the doctor called me and said, there's something in your lung. It appears to be fluid. We're going to refer you to a pulmonary doctor, and he can take a look and see what it is. He's more familiar with that. Right. So I went to the pulmonary doctor, and he checked things out. He said, you have fluid in your lung. And he said, what we have to do is drain the fluid from your lung. So that was a whole procedure in itself, going in through your rib in the back to drain the fluid from your lungs. So he drained the fluid from my lungs, sent that off to be analyzed. And I went back for my follow-up appointment with him. My wife drove me. It was summer. She was also a teacher, so she was off. So she drove me to the appointment, waited in the waiting room. So I went in, and he said, the fluid in your lung contained cancer cells. And he says, you have lung cancer. And just like in disbelief, I said, are you sure you have my results of my tests? And he said, yes. And I'm a lifetime non-smoker, a personal trainer, worked in schools or worked in gyms, my personal training studio. I was completely floored, but I was expecting maybe that I'd have bronchitis. Maybe I had pneumonia, walking pneumonia or something like that. And so I went out into the waiting room and I said to my wife, okay, let's go. And we went out and we got in the car. And when we were in the car, she said, well, what is it? And that was the first time I said, it's lung cancer. And he told me it's in both lungs. So he said it's stage 4 right off the bat.
Wow.
So I was pretty devastated with all of that, not knowing anything. So of course you go home and you start Googling lung cancer, stage 4. And the results of that weren't very optimistic. It had a 9-month survival rate of 50% and a 5-year survival rate of 4%. Being a teacher, I'm thinking no more graduation, no more high school graduation. Is this my last Christmas? Is this my last Thanksgiving? Is this my last summer? A huge hockey fan, and the Pittsburgh Penguins just won the Stanley Cup a month earlier. And I'm like, well, I guess they won the Stanley Cup because I'm not going to see another hockey playoffs. 9 months doesn't let you see all these things that happen in May and June and July. So I was referred then to my oncologist, and I went in to see the oncologist knowing nothing about lung cancer. And the first thing she told me is, well, don't Google anything. And I said, well, that's too late because I already did as soon as I heard. And she said, well, what we're going to do, she said, since you're a non-smoker, she said, we're going to test to see if there is some kind of a mutation that you have. And we're going to do a biomarker test, and we're going to have the fluid analyzed for any biomarkers that you may have. And so my wife wanted me to begin chemotherapy, right away, but the doctor said, hold off. We want to make sure that what we're giving you is going to be the right thing to give you. Right. So results came back. I did have a targeted mutation. I have an EGFR mutation, which is an irregular mutation within the body, within the cells. And because of this mutation, it caused the cancer to be in the lungs. And when I had scans performed after to find out the extent of the cancer, it had been in both lungs. It was in my back, it was in my shoulder, it was in my hip, it was in my thigh, and it was also in my abdomen. So it had spread to a lot of different places. Right. She said the good news is that you have a mutation. There are targeted therapies that we can try, and it's in pill form, and you take the pill once a day, and that's your therapy. You don't have chemotherapy, you don't have any of the other things that you take. So I did the pill. I was religious. I would take it at night. I was so excited that I was going to get this pill and it was going to fight at night when I was asleep. So I tried the pill for 3 months. I went back for my scans in November of 2016, and the cancer had spread and grown where it was. So this was not successful. My whole health was way down. I had lost weight. I was exhausted trying to teach and train clients after school in my gym. I didn't work out myself because I was just exhausted.
So you were still trying to work while you were still in the throes of this?
I worked through everything. I took time off from school when I was able to, when I didn't have anything scheduled. I ran a lot of meetings in school as far as designated meetings for IEP meetings and different things like that for special needs students. So I didn't have a classroom of children, but I had meetings with all the parents and the teachers. So when I didn't have something on my schedule or I could block it off, then I would leave and just take my time off and go home because I was exhausted. But I always went to school. I always showed up and trained my clients, but I didn't train myself because I was just exhausted. Yeah. So they did a biopsy of my lung, and they found a specific mutation that I have. And there was a new treatment that had just come out a year earlier that was a pill form. You couldn't take it unless you failed on something else, which is called a second line treatment. Okay. So I started my second line treatment in December 5th of 2016. And on December 7th, I felt good enough that I wanted to try a couple exercises in the gym. Just let me see what I could do. And I started to feel better. My energy started coming back. I was able to work out. I was able to do everything. And my wife said, it's too much to do the gym and teaching. You're going to have to give up the gym because you just can't do both. My thought was the gym is what's keeping me alive, because all of the doctors would tell me, keep doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing because you're in great shape. You just have this lung cancer. And so I did retire from teaching. I still have my personal training studio to this day that I train
great.
clients in. So I kept that. I got my energy back. I started to feel a lot better. And in August of 2018, the first time I had scans, they came back no evidence of disease, which means nothing was lighting up in my body as far as any of the cancer. So since then, I am still on my second line treatment that I take every night. And I also have been no evidence of disease since August of 2018. And I just keep trying to take one day at a time and just keep going.
That is a wonderful, that's remarkable. Now, what was your mindset while you were going through your healing journey?
When the first line treatment wasn't working, and I was exhausted, around Thanksgiving, my family actually got together as I was sleeping because I slept a lot. And I have a daughter and two sons and my wife. They got together and they didn't think I was going to make it to Christmas of 2016 because my health had gone down so much. I was very depressed. I had no life. Everything was I was just kind of existing more like a zombie state, just getting through the day, but not having that real zest for life or not being able to really live. And so my mindset was, that things are going downhill. I'm not doing well. And it wasn't until I started my second line treatment that when I started to feel better. And there was a day I can remember laying on the couch all day watching football when I had just started my treatment, watching football on television. And at the end of the day, I got up and I just laid on the couch all day watching football. And then when I went to bed, I said, today I got beat. I didn't win today. I got beat. And I said, but I can get up tomorrow and I can win tomorrow. I can win the day. And if I do enough days that I keep winning, then I can beat this. And I can make history because I can beat the odds and I can beat those, whatever the prognosis is on survival rates and things. So I came up with what I adapted as my saying, which was win the day, make history. And if I get up and just win the day, I'll make history. So my license plate on my car says win day. I have wristbands that I made up, these little yellow wristbands, and they say win the day, make history. And I give those out to people that are in my groups and different things that I'm going to, my clients, people that I meet. I give them that wristband to win the day, make history. And when I first met my oncologist on day one, I told her, when she said, don't Google anything, I said, I'm going to beat this. I said, come along for the ride because we're going to make history. So when I put that win the day with the telling her we're going to make history, that kind of became my calling card of, just try to get up and win every day. If you don't win a day, but you survive that day, sometimes that's enough. Right. But get up tomorrow and win the day. And that has been my mindset ever since starting this second line treatment, was to get up and win the day. And if you win enough days, I've already gone past that 5-year mark. I'm just, going past the 6-year, into the 6-year mark. So we got to make history and just keep going and make the odds better and set some new standards for the odds.
You are definitely doing that, and you are very inspiring. Now, you are still training today. So what is your daily life like now?
My daily life now is more hectic than I think it's ever been.
Okay.
During the pandemic, I decided to get involved a little bit more. My gym was shut down for a couple months and I needed something to do. So I reached out to some of the lung cancer organizations and asked, was there anything that I could do with them? I ran some fundraisers through them, but they had some different groups that I joined. There's a speakers bureau group that I've joined, and there's an advocacy board that I've joined. And I became more of an advocate for lung cancer research and to spread the word, to get our stories out there, that it's not just smokers who get lung cancer, that if anybody who has lungs can get lung cancer, and just, kind of spread the word and advocate And I thought, I need to do more. What more can I do? And I thought, I'm a personal trainer. I've got lung cancer. Is there such a thing as training people that have cancer as a trainer, as a personal trainer? And as a matter of fact, there is. So I became certified as a cancer exercise specialist. And wow. I run a local program. I'm the co-coordinator of a program in our local healthcare system where we run a fitness, yoga, and wellness program. I do the fitness portion and part of the wellness, and I work with a young lady who does the yoga portion and the other part of the wellness. And we run these programs together as 6-week programs where people diagnosed with cancer can get some exercise, get some yoga, get some movement in their day. I'm a big proponent of you got to keep moving, and you don't let cancer take you over, but you kind of say, no, cancer, this is what I'm going to do, and you keep going. And we also bring the wellness, which is that mindfulness part about how you cope with everything, and the mind part to make the mind and body work as one. So I began involved in that, and we're running programs for that. We do an in-person program that we just started in June finally. We still run Zoom programs for the clients. And then I also have my personal training studio that I work with them. I work with a lot of different organizations. I've been working with the Department of Defense as far as critiquing proposals for lung cancer research. Wow. And they submit these proposals, and with a team of scientists and doctors, me as a consumer reviewer, review these and score these proposals so that they can get that lung cancer funding. So I'm constantly seeing what I can do to increase the awareness, to kind of get that funding going, and just kind of keep moving forward and keep doing all that I can do to kind of make a difference, and, kind of, as I said, spread the word. Let people know if you have lungs, you can get lung cancer, and just kind of be that advocate for as many organizations and get involved when I can.
Well, Frank, you are truly an inspiration. You are paying it forward. I commend you for that. And I just want to say thank you. Your story is going to inspire so many people going through your situation. So I want to say thank you very much. I hope that in the future you will join us again.
Sounds like a good idea.
Thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day.
I just have one thing to close with. And this
sure.
is
Absolutely.
Another kind of one of my sayings, and it's a simple one. It's that I have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me.
Exactly. You do not allow it to define you. You define it.
That's exactly right.
You define it.
You keep living your life, and you win every day, and we're going to make history.
Exactly. I agree with you. That is a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Watch us next time as we discuss how to cope with becoming newly disabled. Join the My So-Called Disabled Life Facebook page to engage in lively discussion about disability. If you are enjoying this video, then join the family by subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching.